Okay. No, it wasn't just you. My settings got all fucked up on this end of things. We're narrating, so today's a little weird for me. Yeah, you should be good now. I'm gonna move chat over here though. Hello, it's me. Back again. No, it wasn't just you. Um the Now you should be good. There we go. Okay. So, obviously, with narrations, I've told you guys this before. I'm gonna be in and out. So this one is a co-narration. It's not a solo. It's a duet. So I will have to my male narrator lines. So if you're hearing that, unfortunately, you don't get to know the dialogue, but that's why you listen to the whole thing. The book that we're narrating, I tried to like put in frame, but it may be kind of dicey. There we go, a little bit. That is the book that we're narrating. It is called A Trial of Lace and Bone. It is by Kalista Neith. So this is book two. Yeah, book two in the Of Chaos and Darkness series. It is considered I think they call them romanticises, but it's like a I don't want to call it like a dark romantasy, but it's like I don't really know what you would consider it. I'm pretty sure that they just consider them romanticises. Otherwise, though, I may have to periodically mute, and if I do, it's probably because the scene is getting spicy. So please forgive me. I don't want to break TOS and get in trouble, but I will not be reading comments as actively. So if I'm not responding to you, please don't get offended. Just keep that in the back of your mind. I know there's gonna be a whole bunch of people that when that clicker goes off, they're just gonna sit upright, and that's how it's gonna go. Um, so yeah. Oh, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, if I'm getting quiet, that's why. Please keep that in the back of your minds. It is not personal. I've had people hop on lives before and get mad at me because I wasn't talking to them, even though it stated that I was in live narration. So I am trying to just finish setting up really quick because I realized I think I missed my little thing that tells people that I'm my timer that tells people I'm narrating. So let me grab that really quick. This is a long one. I think it's like 780 something pages. We're barely on like page 100 and something. So you guys are being put in a situation where it is in the middle. It is in the middle of a thing that's happening, an occurrence. So you guys, like I said, are going to be jumping in kind of weird. But you know, sometimes it be like that. So keep that in the back of your minds. Okay. And it looks like I've got my live narrating thing out, so that should be good. Okay. It looks like we're good to start, so. Although I just realized I am going to have to quiet down my my alerts. So, those are going off. They will not. Well, I guess I could leave them to trigger on screen. Hold on. I'll fix this. I will fix it. I will fix it. Hold on. I'm not sure why I'm putting that in my mouth. Like I need a second hand. Okay, we should be good now. So output. So now let me double check this. If an alert goes off, we should be all right. Let's see. Let's do Valerie really quick here and see. Okay, I can't hear it. And that's all that matters. So we're good. We're good to go, I think. I don't understand why the bit rate on this computer is such fucking garbage. That's so weird. I wonder why. Strange. If I up that, does that matter? Huh. That's weird. All right, anyway. It may cut in and out. It keeps saying the keyframe interval is too high, which I don't understand or agree with, but it's been doing that, so. I wonder if I put it to like. All right, let's get this party started. Hi, Kalista. I appreciate. Yes, narrating. I had some vet stuff that happened and a couple of other things, and I was trying to get my other books clear so I could solely focus on these two. So we are doing this. The author is in the chat, so if you guys would like to ask author questions about what's happening, you're welcome to do so. Again, polite reminder that I will not be reading chat when that happens. I will probably pick on chat in between chapters. Otherwise, again, I do have to mute if things get spicy for some reason. Although this book, it appears that as we've gotten to this point, is not quite. We're not in the spicy, so we should be fine. But at the very least, I like to warn. It is. No, you're fine. You guys know how this works. You guys are good. Okay. I'm also froggy this morning, which sucks. This spicy. Tea would have been intelligent, probably, but it's fine. All right. Testing one. Testing one. Okay, we're good. So we are in the middle of a chapter, like I mentioned. Basically, what's occurring, if any of you are familiar with the Of Chaos and Darkness series, which is here, I would tell you to keep in mind that this is, again, book 2. So the first book, I think, is currently still in audio edit, I think. Kalista could probably... Oh, thank you. Kalista could probably clarify with that. I'm pretty sure we're finishing... the sound engineer should be finishing editing towards quarter 4. Yeah, so currently in production. I'm guessing usually should be finishing confirmation and getting feedback and getting all of my stuff that we need to double check. That'll be quarter 4, which is, you guys know how the game stuff works where it's like the ass end of the year. Oh, okay. So Kalista just confirmed that they will be clarifying. They will be finishing production and then dropping all of the books at the same time. So that's actually good to know. My apologies. December of 2025 is the target date for these books. So I am co-narrating these, or duet narrating, I suppose is another phrase to put it, with Corvin King, whom I have had the pleasure of working on several projects with. Very, very pleasant person, very pleasant human. This series, I finished doing book 1. I think I did a little bit live with you guys. And then again, we're on book 2 now, and then I do need to complete book 3. Obviously, a lot of things have happened. I did not reveal I've had a surgery on top of the vet stuff, and a few other things. So life has just been kind of weird. So with that said, we have like 2 weeks, week and a half, to get everything settled. I like to move pretty quick when I do narrations, though, so I'm not too concerned about it. My hope for this is if I can complete X chapters per day, then we'll be good to go, because, again, not all of the chapters are technically mine. So having a co-narrator is great. Oh, no, you're good. I appreciate you. I just appreciate your patience. Again, so the series is in the thing, author, Kalista Neith, and then we have the book back here if you are interested. Actually, so I will tell you this, and I promise I'm not shopping. Like, I'm not trying to sell you guys, but I will tell you. So these books have some of the coolest, like, book art. Like I didn't know that book art was a thing. I want to be clear. I'm like old fashioned as fuck, and my books smell like musty old book asshole that came out of a library, right? Like I like really old books. So what they've started doing with some of these books for book collections is they are printing art on the sides of the bindings and other things, and like they're doing really cool shit with it. So this I'll show you guys first. So this is the actual like art. These are the pages of this book that create this stamp of art. And it's really, really cool. I'll show you guys up here. Hopefully it focuses. Um, but it's really, really cool. If you can't see it up there, because I know it's a little bit glary, you can look these books up. But I'd never really seen anything like that until recently. But they started doing like prints of art inside of the books. So like you get picture book status with some of these too, and I just think it's the coolest fucking thing. Kalista just said that they're an art hoe. So like if you guys let me see, I think you can you can see that. So if you guys are interested, or like a type of collector, this is a really, really cool one to kind of be able to do that with, because there is art spread throughout the book. They also, of course, have naughty prints and things like that that accommodate the books and the scenes. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, no, I've seen the ones at home, but yeah. So okay, I'm actually gonna get started now because I really need to focus. But let's see, where did we leave off? So again, I am in the middle of a chapter, so I apologize. You guys are not gonna know what the fuck is happening. But you know, take it as like a surprise. Let's see. I'm gonna start over for this one because I'm at the top of the page. Again, please don't be offended if I am not responding to comments. I am focused. It's kind of like a parallel play.
Testing one.
Okay.
For centuries.
Okay, so I left off on for centuries. Oh, yeah, okay, we can start there. Faye move blocking. Okay. Faye moved closer, blocking her line of sight. Okay. Oh, no, no worries. Faye moved closer, blocking her line of sight. Hey, look at me. Faye lay next to her, bringing her face inches from hers. I won't let him hurt you. She took a shuddering breath and crawled against Faye, ducking her head. Don't let him hurt me. Faye nodded as her heart broke. I won't let him hurt you. Don't let him hurt me, she repeated, her soft voice muffled against Faye's neck. Fury rose with an anger so cold it numbed every part of her. The ice cracked as it circled, clashing with her own feelings of betrayal and guilt. Guilt for I need like a rewind noise.
Guilt.
Maybe I need to find a way to get you guys to trigger that. Maybe that's a sound alert I'll make for you. Okay. I'll just explain. So what I'm doing is punch editing. And what that means when you're narrating for punch editing is if you fuck up or if a mistake is made, you go right back in and you edit immediately. So like that line where I just flubbed, it will be gone. It will be replaced with the actual line. Not only does that save the sanity for your sound engineer and production team, but it saves your own fucking sanity. If you're somebody who maybe like I sometimes am dyslexic, and that's part of me being ADHD and stuff. So I will switch words and I won't even realize I've done it until I finish the sentence, if I notice at all. But the nice thing about punch editing is that means I don't have to go back once that whole chapter is complete and be like, oh, okay, I flubbed here. Oh, I did this. So that's always really nice. So that is what I'm doing.
Guilt for...
Okay, so guilt for loving a man. Oh, whoops. The page moved. Guilt for loving a man who terrorized and attacked his own brother's wife. She would protect Prinia. The Shadow Prince she feared was no more. Rune was a different man. A better man. But every ragged breath and broken sob fanned her deep-seated hatred for Darkbloods. It was why she had avoided them for so long. Faye held her as she cried, stroking her cheek. When Prinia's sobs slowed, Faye brushed her fingertips over her brow to her temple. "We need to go," she whispered. "I'm going to bring you to a safe place." Prinia tensed, crimson tears brimming in her dark eyes. "He finds me when I hide." "I won't let him find you," Faye promised. She slowly got to her feet and guided Prinia up. She banded her arms around Faye, tucking her head under Faye's chin. She couldn't see their feet, and their steps were slow and awkward, with Prinia tangled around her. They managed an easy pace, heading back the way they came. The vision of Rune had vanished, and Faye suspected it was because Prinia wasn't thinking of him. She kept quiet, worrying this place summoned Prinia's fears to torment her. The endless abyss stretched around them, unnerving Faye. She concentrated on the light from the mirrors far off on the horizon. By the time they approached the mirrors, Faye's ribs had ached beneath Prinia's tight embrace. She spotted Sadie standing at the glass with her hands flattened against it. Prinia stopped suddenly, nearly knocking Faye to the ground, a few feet from the rows of ashen bodies. "No, they'll tell him where I am." Sadie's eyeless... Oh, whoops. Actually, I want to redo that line anyway. Hold on.
Sadie's eye.
Let's redo that line. No, they'll tell him where I am. "No, they'll tell him where I am." Sadie's eyeless friends rocked side to side quietly, focusing on the familiar. "He won't come if I'm with you," Faye said, taking a step and waiting for her to follow. Prinia tensed. Her arms tightened until Faye's ribs groaned, but took a half step, then another, slowly inching forward until they stood before Sadie. "We're going to step through now," Faye whispered against her hair. Prinia nodded, and Faye perceived the rapid beat of her heart. "Away from him. Somewhere safe," Prinia murdered. Prinia did not murder. Prinia did not murder. That is not what Prinia did. Prinia did not murder.
"Somewhere safe."
"Somewhere safe," Prinia muttered. Faye stepped into the glass. The surface rippled as she passed through. Her vision darkened for a moment. Faye opened her eyes and found herself staring up at the arched ceiling in the Hall of Empty Eyes. Sadie perched over her, roughly shoving her hair away. The familiar stared at Faye's face, but focused on something past her head. "Are you injured?" she asked, searching her eyes. "I'm fine," Faye answered, pushing Sadie away. She stood, searching for Prinia. A faint tapping sound chilled her spine. "No." Prinia stood on the wrong side of the mirror, her palms pushing against the glass. Her bloody tears fell, scrawling angry red lines across her pale, moon-kissed cheeks. Her vision of Rune I'm having trouble today, I'm sorry. I need to slow down. Is there actually, Kalista, is there a way, sorry, while I'm paused real quick? I don't know. I'm really bad with live for you. You guys, I have labeled. Like, you know what we're reading. The info's on the thing. But you guys don't have like a thing. Is there a way that I can put up like a comment, like a pinned comment? I can, I think, right? Yeah, okay, hold on. I think I can put up a That's sweet, JJ. I think I can put up a pinned comment. Yeah, I'm bad at it too. So like, fair enough. I think Hey Ellis, can you put a pinned comment on TikTok for like as yourself to like tell people info? Cuz I know that they have the thing that scrolls that tells you the comments information for like the auto thing that tells you, "Oh, you just joined a live for so and so. Here's what we're doing." But like, is there a way to do it where it tells you or where you can just pin it for that? Yeah, you don't know either. Oh, okay. Somebody said you can, but we don't really know how. And I that way like it's can you drop it into the thing and I'll just pin your comment? Okay. Okay, so I just pinned it. Yeah, so it pins it at the top. That would be cool. Can you do that for me? Okay, so um like now narrating A Trial of Lace and Bone by Kalista, Kalista, Neith, Neith. And then please enjoy and a smiley face. Also buy the book. You don't have to put that, but you know. I know, we're learning together, right? No, don't go don't go away. Oh no, come back. I like how you all commented at that moment. Okay. Yay! Can you guys see the pinned comment? Well, so the nice thing is you guys, I can change my screen in OBS. So like you guys are good, but like I can't so TikTok doesn't have a live thing for Mac yet, and they won't give me the fucking code for like the live thing so I can put it on OBS, which I think is stupid by the way. But I can do it for you, but all right. Yeah? Okay, cool. Yay. Oh, I love it. Oh, but it disappears every 20 seconds. Comment setting. Oh, that sucks. Hold on. I think I'm just gonna have to pin it periodically, maybe. Yeah, it has a timer and it disappears every minute. So that's okay. Do you mind periodically just dropping that in chat? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. At least until I think you're a mod for me though. So if worst case situation, maybe you can figure it out and fix it. Okay. You would need a mod to repin it every 2 minutes. Yeah. There's a way that I can do it. I just don't know what it is. Okay, I gotta get back to what I was doing. I'm so sorry. Okay. Where was I? Her vision of ruin materialized. Okay.
Her vision of
Her vision of ruin materialized from the shadows behind her. No! Faye leapt forward. Sadie's arm caught her waist, but it was too late. She touched the mirror as her awareness passed through it. Prenia rushed to her with a broken sob. She squeezed her close and buried her face in Faye's neck. They told him to find me. It's okay. I'm here, Faye murmured. The nightmarish version of Rune dissolved as Prinya calmed down from shaking in her arms. Faye turned to Sadie, still on the other side of the mirror. Her chest constricted at the sight of the physical body she left behind, hanging limp in Sadie's arms. Her eyes were as vacant and clouded as Prinya's. She reached for her own mind and was met with an endless abyss. "How did you get through?" Sadie hissed. I don't know, Faye answered, thinning her lips. "Can you bring her consciousness into your mind?" Sadie set her body down and flattened her hand to the glass. She stared at Prinya briefly, her fingers curling as they pressed the glass. Sadie pulled her hand away with a sharp breath. "I can't feel her. She never answered me when I summoned her." Faye looked down toward Prinya as the blood tears stained her face. "She's a friend. You can go with her." Faye nodded encouragingly. Sadie shook her head. "I don't feel her consciousness. Or yours," she said, glancing down at Faye's still body. Faye glanced down at the smaller woman. She refused to abandon her and reached for the depth of Prinya's mind. Her heart fell. She didn't feel Prinya's consciousness. There was only blackness, the endless, cavernous abyss. Faye wouldn't leave Prinya to this emptiness, captive to her fears. "Get her body. I'll help her walk through the mirror like I did." With a curt nod, Sadie vanished. Okay, that was actually a relatively quick chapter, which isn't a bad thing. So hold tight. Let me get this saved real quick. So, are we in the right folder? Yeah, I just got to save my settings. I was doing some standard character line recording, so all of my settings have to be remangled. So bear with me. Okay. Good. So chapter 13 is you guys are going to be kind of out of what's happening, which is also why you would buy the book. But they're actually okay, so believe it or not, they're actually not that short. And so some of your chapters, timed wise, run anywhere from approximately 13 to 25 minutes depending. I just finished a book where almost every single chapter was 6 to 10 minutes, and there was like maybe 3 total out of like 50, or no, maybe like 45 that were actually like 15 to 18 minutes. So you have normal chapters for what I would consider normal. Just every so often you litter in like a quick chapter. But you actually have relatively normal chapters in my opinion for narrating. Rune's chapter and perspective, because again, this is a duet, is going to be chapter 13. So I apologize. You guys are going to miss bits of the story, but that's exactly why you get the book. So, or, you know, obviously selfishly the audiobook. So yeah, let's see. So again, I will be in and out of chat, so please bear with me. But there are some lines that I do need to do for this chapter, so let me do that. So what happens when, while I'm typing, so what happens when you have chapters and you're doing a duet narration for something like this? You would go in and find the lines, either the female, the femme or mask lines, or you know whatever the monster, whatever you're narrating, and usually the manuscript will be highlighted accordingly, and show you kind of what lines you need to narrate. So it's almost like character line delivery depending on how you read. Not all narrators narrate the same way. So for example, I prefer more of a characterized reading. I can do flat kind of monologue-esque readings where it's just not really a lot of emotion and stuff. I just don't prefer that. So, testing. So these lines aren't going to make any sense to you guys. Yeah, so the empty-eyed vessel, for example, I will wind up, there's a character that we will meet shortly. It is a romantasy. There is a character that we will meet shortly where I will have to record 3 separate folders for this. So basically, when we see that character, what I will probably do just so I have the 3 in line, is I will click record 1, click record 2, click record 3, so that the sound engineer can see them and recognize that those are all supposed to be that line, and that they go together. And I feel like that would probably save everybody's sanity, because what they'll do is they'll cut the line and edit and just pull it into the same sound file where you have like sound 1, sound 2, 3, 4, etc. And that usually will assist that. Yeah, so I can shove them into one folder. So I think that may save their sanity and mine. Oh, it's Corvin? Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say, I can, if you want, I can do that too, and save him the trouble I just have to throw in for it. But if Corvin's doing it anyway, that's totally fine. I will just tell him that's what I did, and that should be easy, because he can just cut them and paste them. So, all right, let's get these character lines. Hello. Make the creepy pasta. So he's pulling in like the sound variants. Nice. I need your assistance. Come to Alistair's home. You are wasting time. Give me her body. I don't know how long Faye can hold Prinya there. You can't enter our temples. Give her to me before I lose my patience and snap your neck. Now give her to me. You cannot enter our temples. You cannot enter with doubt in your mind. Don't touch him unless you want to share his fate. The empty-eyed vessels will attack Prinya once she is back in her body. Frail blood. Worthless. Pathetic weakling. Frail blood. Worthless. Pathetic weakling. Frail blood. Worthless. Pathetic weakling. Since you're here, Kalista, and that was literally the lines, how do you feel about those? Because I know you said you wanted like variants where they all kind of would meld together. So we got some depth. We got one slightly scared and young, and then we got one that's relatively like a normal read. Hey, bet. It is a lot of fun. Just really time consuming. Awesome. Cool. So I will... This is actually for a book series. It should be a movie, though. That would be cool. Maybe one day. Oh, then we're set. So those will be good. Okay. Okay, and we're back to Faye. It's going to be okay. He can't hurt you over there. He won't find me? He won't. And Alistair is waiting for you. Allie. He doesn't love you, peasant mortal, insignificant pet. He doesn't love you, peasant mortal, insignificant pet. He doesn't love you, peasant mortal, insignificant pet. All right. So those are character dialogue chapters. So those go by a lot quicker for me. It looks like chapter 14 is also told from Rune's perspective. So what we will do with that is, once again, you guys get no context of what happened. But I will do the character lines. The clicker is for dialogue sections. So for this portion, it's usually for my co-narrator for the male dialogue. And basically what it does is it inserts like a loud click pop, where when the sound engineer in production goes back to edit everything in, they will know that is where to insert femme, mask, monster, whatever, the other person's dialogue, the duet narrator's dialogue. So that's what the clicker's for. In my case, though, what I just used it for is all 3 of those voices are going to be blended together with kind of a monster-esque sound. So, who's the biggest company to ask you to read for them? Podium? entertainment, I think. I mean, I can't really say that because I've done a lot of reading for a lot of companies. Obviously, I do readings for Audible, but Podium, in terms of production, I think Podium's the biggest one. All of my stuff, though, is under autumnivyofficial.com. There's the link to all the Audible stuff. So, yep. Okay, chapter 14. It's nothing. I'm okay. Let's see. Who's speaking here? This is Faye nodded, walking closer to Sadie. She cradled Prinya in her arms. Red tracks lined Prinya's face, but she had stopped bleeding. There's something wrong with them. When I focus on it, everything fades. Okay, so it's Sadie speaking. Okay. There's something wrong with them. When I focus on it, everything fades. Stop trying to read my thoughts. Get off me. Your surroundings fade when you look into people. It allows us to see their power and manipulate it. These two fractured their cores. Take us to Alistair's home. They'll heal faster in a setting they're accustomed to. This. No. What's she doing? Can I help? You will need to learn to heal and siphon before you can begin stitching cores. I have much to repair. Don't venture to the Hall of Empty Eyes without me. I have no intention of visiting the talking dead. You heard the empty-eyed vessels speak. Let go of me. What did they say? When I was with them, there was a wet, tearing sound. They called Alistair frail blood and told Prinya he didn't love her. She has familiar magic, but it wields... She has familiar magic, but wields it differently. Her mind is in much better shape than I expected. The fool will take longer to mend than his wife. I'll need a few days. Why is his core fractured more than hers? The vessels didn't speak to him for very long. He's a Dayblood. His core is weaker. Rune turned her. She's no Dayblood. No, Damien will be arriving shortly. Don't enter chaos without me. If we weren't there to pull them out, the empty-eyed vessels would have destroyed their minds. Don't make me explain to Rune why only a shell of you remains. What are you doing? Rune, no, you can't. I'm still dressed. I have boots on. Be nice. I had to go after her. I couldn't risk it. She only answered because I projected Alistair. She came for her husband, but found me and Sadie instead. I lied to draw her out. We don't destroy the realms. I'll be more careful. I promise. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Okay, chapter 15 is back to Faye's perspective, so we're good here. All right. Chapter 15. Ooh. Oh, I heard I had a pop. I know I had a pop. I heard it. Chapter 15. Sparrow splayed... Start completely over. Chapter 15. Sparrow played with the skirt of the pastel blue dress Faye wore. She tossed the gauzy material back and forth before posing it dramatically. Faye laughed and pushed Sparrow away, taking her place in front of the mirror. "This is cute, bitch," her sister said, inspecting the layers of blue organza flowing over her hips. It was so light in color, it could have been easily confused for white. She settled on an elegant dress designed in simple lines with an empire silhouette laced bodice. The restlessness and anxiety prickling beneath her skin amplified with each passing day. It was almost time for her dream to come to fruition. The court of chaos and darkness had been installed over every village in Inaria. She rubbed the back of her neck, willing the knotted muscle to relax. With every village in Inaria under her court, she would stand before the High Council and petition for her realm. Reaching for a crown I have no claim to, she thought. Sparrow leaned against the freestanding bloodroot mirror. Her green eyes glimmered in hell's ever twilight. "Isn't Rooney going to get jealous? You're marrying a realm before him." Faye flushed. He hasn't... It's not even white." The petite blonde snorted and fluttered her hand. "Bitch, you may as well be married to tall, pale, and scary. You announced him as your consort in front of the High Council. Vosh said you're dark blood married." Dark blood married? Were they husband and wife in Rune's eyes? No, he never asked her, and she wouldn't assume. She never imagined being married, let alone to a dark blood. She imagined him pressing his chest to her back, holding her against him. His familiar purr would rumble in her ear as he whispered, "Wife." Her lips curled into a smile. "Look at you. You want to be Mrs. Shadow Prince." Sparrow teased in a sing-song voice. "I made him my consort to end his blood debt," Faye said, dismissing her daydreams. Did Rune even believe in marriage? Or was it like the difference between "I love you" and "I am yours to command"? He'd given her so much. She could give him this and do the dark blood thing. What the fuck is his last name? Sackerly, Faye volunteered, overemphasizing the Oh, okay, hold on. I want to do that again. Sparrow's one of my favorite characters. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm completely fucking biased. Oh, you want it to be Vash. What did I say? Hold on, let me go back. Oh, did I say Vosh again? That's okay, I can fix that. Hold on. I did that last. Vash. Why did I say Vosh? Oh, because I was thinking of Voshki. Oh, Vash said you're dark blood married. Okay, there it is. What the fuck is his last? 3, 2, 4, 4. Okay, should be right here. Song voice. I made him my consort to end. Consort line. Oh, Prince. As he whispered back, holding her against. She never imagined being married. Okay, it should be like right here.
dark blood married. Vosh said you're...
Vosh. I did say Vosh. Okay. Why did I do that? Vash said you're dark blood married. Vash said you're dark blood married.
Of the High Council. Vash said...
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll add a little bit of space here. So this is the self-edit thing that I was talking about. So what I'm doing is those two lines fit too close. So this is the full line now.
You announced him as your consort in front of the High Council. Vash said you're dark blood married.
Let's just redo this whole line. You announced him as your consort in front of the High Council. You announced him as your consort in front of the High Council. Vash said you're dark blood married. Okay, that's better. All right, back to where we were. Vash.
Sacrilege. Faye volunteered. Overemphasis.
Sacrilege. Sac-ar-lay. Faye volunteered, overemphasizing the consonants to end her sister's senseless butchering of Rune's name. So when are you going... So when are you doing the real thing? Sparrow asked, wagging a finger at her pale blue gown. Faye dropped her shoulders and folded her arms. It's not white, she huffed, picking up the skirt and walking off the pedestal. I need you to focus, High Council. Me, asking for a realm. Remember? The muscles in her neck twinged, and Faye winced. She adjusted her hem and fell into the closest chair. Darkness willing, the High Queen would sign over the realm. She was no queen to her people. Faye hoped she would be relieved, ecstatic to be rid of the realm she ignored. Alistair's warning replayed through her mind, unsettling her. Let's see. Sac-ar-lay. I think.
Faye hoped she was no...
Let me go back.
Me, asking...
Saw. Or say. Saker-lay? Long A, short A. Say or saw. Sustenance? Oh, S-U. Suckerlay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's just a spelling variant.
Sparrow asked, wagging
Suckerlay.
a finger at her pale...
Makes sense. Okay. I can fix that.
Dropped her shoulders and folded her arms.
Sakarlay. I love how we have this... Suckery. What the fuck? Okay, that makes more sense. So I'll just redo these whole caps of lines. Suckerlay. Sakarlay. Suck.
What the fuck is his last...
What the fuck is his last name? Sockery, Sucker Crow, Suckarlay?
Faye volunteered.
Okay, there we go. Let's make sure that this fits.
Dark blood thing. What the fuck is his last name? Sockery, Sucker Crow, Suckarlay? Faye volunteered.
That's much better. Okay, got it. Yay. All right, let's go. Where were we? The muscles in her neck twinged and Faye winced. She was no queen to her people. Faye hoped she would be relieved. Alistair's warning replayed in her mind.
unsettling her.
Good. Okay. Stop worrying. Rooney said it would be a simple exchange. Sparrow said with a shrug, if she fights, we take it. Simple. Exchange. Right. Her sister headed toward the bathroom, and Faye glanced down at her ring. The mist surrounding her soul shard obscured the marquee crystal within it like a shard of darkness. The tendrils within her mist differed. Instead of black marking it a dark blood. What was that sentence? Ugh. Okay, let me try that again. Instead of black marking it a dark blood, hers were a sharp purple, mirroring the darkness itself. If the High Queen contested her petition, Faye would be forced to bring her court to war with what remained of Lyssa's. She prayed it wouldn't come to that. 2 knocks in quick succession drew her attention. Faye turned to find Rune standing in the doorway, with Vashin a step behind him. God damn it, Vashin. I know that one.
With Vashin
Vashin. I know that one. Stop it, brain. This is why you don't, by the way, I just want to point something out. So obviously there have been things in between and I'm behind. But this is why if you're doing a series and you have the collection of the series and you okay it ahead of time, don't be dumb and do what I did and like break it up. Because I had obviously other things that I had to adhere to scheduling and prior stuff for. The thing with series, especially fantasy series I've noted, and Kalista's been a fucking saint about it, is like pronunciation sometimes will slip. And like I'll pronounce things with an accent sometimes and not even realize that I'm doing it. It just feels like that's the natural flow of how it goes, and it's not. These are fantasy names. So it'd be like Gandalf versus like Gandalf. And it's a preference point, but like your mind just does not go there. And so when you narrate a certain way or you say certain fantasy names and you go into a different book or a different thing, it fucking gone. Don't do that. Try to do it in a thing if you can. Okay, let's start that over.
With that.
With Vashin a step behind him. Come on in, your shadowy highness, Sparrow yelled from the bathroom while curling her hair. Rune silently strolled toward her, and she smiled up at her vampire. He canted his head, approaching her. Faye folded her hands in her lap, and her shoulders slumped. A little nervous? Rune assured her. He leaned down, and a length of his white blonde hair fell forward, grazing her collarbone. Faye's lid slid closed as his lips touched hers. Rune pulled back a fraction, threading his fingers through her hair, and a breathy sigh escaped her. He whispered, before pressing a kiss to her temple. I'm just asking for a roam, Faye answered in the same fashion, sliding her hand down his side. Planning had been the easy part, the late nights she shared with Rune and Voshki poring over maps. Voshki. I did this every time. Do you know how many times I've gone back to your audio?
Late nights she shared with Rune.
And been like, So the cool thing, and since I'm here anyway, authors will do this. That you can't hear because I muted it. Hold on. Okay, hold on. So, you can't hear it. But I will let you hear it. So, for example, right? So the nice thing about that, oh, is it a little too quiet? Okay. Um, oh, because you guys are on this side of things. So what it is, let me see. So those are nice. It again, it may be a little quiet, but those are always nice to get from authors. And a good author will toss you, especially for fantasies, uh, stuff to assist with pronunciations. So periodically, I'll catch myself saying something and be like, "All right," and then have to adjust. Same thing that we just did with Vashin. Um, so like the first pronunciations that I tried, I realized were off, and it's part of spelling, and we naturally want to add our cadence to it in the way that we assume a word should be heard or read. Okay. The late nights she shared with Rune and Vashki.
The late night.
Yep. So like Kalista just wrote Vashin. Vashin. Which when I say it, and maybe I think it's the way that I'm Vashin or Vashin, and it's that dip, Vava, that is. So like my U's and A's will twist sometimes, so I have to be really careful with Vashin's name because then it becomes Vashin and sounds like Va instead of Va. So like long A. Yeah, hard A.
The late nights she shared with Rune and Vashki pouring.
Vashki. Vashki? Vacuum, like vacuum. Vashki. The late nights she shared with Rune and Vashki, pouring. See, I just did it. Vashki. The late nights she shared with Rune and Vashki, poring over maps and strategizing how to best protect her people. She saw her goal clearly. Executing her vision, however, was another thing entirely. Oh. Oh no, it was him speaking. It was Rune. Okay, we're good. Sparrow had said the same thing. Faye didn't want to solve their problems with violence. Rune straightened and offered his hand. Faye placed her hand in his. She took a breath before standing up. They materialized in a box seat far above the High Council. The view silenced her imposterous thoughts. The airy it's Basilica. Oh, Jesus Christ. Basilica. The airy basilica sparkled. Oh God, pictures. Oh no. Okay. The airy basilica sparkled in whites and golds. Tall pillars of marble lifted the domed ceiling high.
Tall
pillars of marble. Tall pillars of marble. Yeah. Tall pillars of marble lifted the domed ceiling high above the road seating. From Rune's balcony, she had an unobstructed view of the endless sky. I swear to God I took my medication today, but it does not feel like I did.
From Rune's balcony, she had an unobstructed.
Okay. I'm not sure what my problem is today. I mean, I know what my problem is, but... Okay. From Rune's balcony, she had an unobstructed view of the endless sky Artithia was known for. It stretched all around them, painted in azure, lapis, and cerulean. Picturesque white clouds floated softly, capturing the sun's rays in crisp golden highlights. Sparrow and Vashin appeared. Vacuum. Vashin. Sparrow and Vashin appeared behind her a moment later. Rooney catered. her sister chirped, gracelessly flopping into the chair beside the circular table. She stuffed a grilled fig in her mouth, acting as if she had received the best orgasm of her life. Faye glanced over her shoulder. Leave it to Sparrow to notice food instead of the breathtaking view. Faye leaned onto the railing, observing the crowd. Masses shuffled below them. It wasn't as crowded as it had been the last time she stepped into this building, but it still was a popular affair. The High Council members sat at their table, flipping through and arranging their own stacks of documents. I appreciate
The High Council members sat at their table.
The High Council members sat at their table, flipping through and arranging their own stacks of documents. Rune's hand met the small of her back and offered her a glass of pomegranate juice. Faye took the glass, sitting in the oversized, black upholstered chair beside Rune. People were watching them. Faye glanced down, overlooking the other golden rail. A mass of onlookers whispered among themselves, discreetly pointing at her and Rune. Faye crossed her legs and studied her soul shard. Her smile turned bitter. She'd been an outcast, living at the edge of society without a shard, seen as little more than an animal by those gifted with magic. Now, she was living at the edge of society with a shard. Nothing had changed. She felt just as isolated by the black misted ring adorning her index finger, cut in sharp purple tendrils. It proved her power far eclipsed Rune's with the single shard she displayed. I'll get used to the scrutiny, Faye silently reminded herself. She focused on the ornate table between their pair of chairs instead of her onlookers and made a small plate of cut fruit and pastries. She bit into a plum tart. And the crowd quieted. Jahant cleared his throat and stood, opening the meeting. I just heard that one, so I'm going to check it. Hold on. Jahant. Jahant.
Jahant.
Jahant cleared his throat and stood, opening the meeting. Faye would guess he stood as tall as Rune, but his shoulders were much broader. He shifted his large, white-feathered wings and sat down, slipping on a pair of reading glasses. The Artithian king called a set of names Faye didn't recognize. She nibbled on fruit as the day wore on, watching court appointments announced. The petitions unfolded, and Sparrow made no attempt to hide her commentary. Yes, no. Darkness, no. Yes, but it will dissolve within a year. That's a terrible idea. Are they serious? Sparrow tried to grab Faye's attention, but Faye tuned her out. She continued watching a woman decline her queen's request to name her consort. Darkbloods and their strange customs. It all seemed backward. Why would they come here with petitions instead of talking to the person in question? Faye leaned toward Rune, taking his hand. Is Sadie here, or is she still with Alistair and Prinya? Rune leaned closer and pointed down a series of large balconies. She recognized Sadie's thigh-high belted boots and Damien's long black hair streaked with red. Instead of chairs, an elaborate chaise dominated the space. Sadie declined. She did not decline. She did not. She very much inclined. She very much meant it.
She very much.
It is Chase, right? Chase. No, it's Shays. It's Shays, right? Shays. It is Shays. I feel like I always thought it was Chase, but it's Shays. Just for safety, we'll check that one. Yeah. Instead of chairs.
She did not decline. Instead
of chairs, an elaborate chaise dominated the space. Sadie reclined with her head on Damien's lap while her booted feet laid on the railing. Faye frowned. By the way her skirts were positioned, Faye was sure her neighbor was getting an eyeful. She doesn't care if people can see up her skirt? Faye asked. Rune spared Sadie a passing glance. His attention returned to her like his answer was explanation enough for her behavior. Her vampire rose, offering his hand. Faye stood, shielding herself and Sparrow. Her sister rubbed her arm, scowling at her. Is this really necessary? Rune stated. He phased the four of them to the walkway in front of the raised platform before the High Council called the Eyes. Sadie and Damien materialized behind them. The High Queen straightened her back and sat taller, raising her chin, the embodiment of regal pride and arrogance. She overlooked Faye, casting a sweeping glance at Rune. Faye pulled her shoulders back, prickling at Lissa's display. The High Queen regarded Rune as an object, an ornament to parade and stow at her convenience. But he was none of those things. Rune had told her love was a mortal sentiment. Immortal emotions ran deeper. Their affection was displayed through ownership and devotion. It was as twisted as the scores they collected against one another. A metal point pressed into her finger as a hand closed over hers. Faye turned her head and pulled away, but the grip held. Sadie smiled at the High Queen as she lifted Faye's hand. She curled her fingers and ran Faye's nails down Rune's back. Black flooded the High Queen's gaze like ink through water before dissipating. She looks cross with you, Sadie laughed. The familiar bounced the claw of her ring against her lower lip. Can you taste her emotions from here? Which is stronger, betrayal or jealousy? Sparrow poked Faye in the ribs, joining in Sadie's game. Kiss him. Rune quirked a brow the same moment Faye hissed. Stop. You don't have fangs. Or I tell you to feed on him while she watches, Sparrow added sourly. Vasheen growled in a hushed whisper. Damien's low laugh sounded from behind her. Damien nodded at her sister, pulling Sadie against him. Rune exhaled. I spelled our space. Our words will travel no further than our ears. Sadie smiled, reaching up to drag the clawed tip of her articulated ring along Damien's jaw. He bit down, pulling it from her finger. He held the finger gauntlet in front of her and growled. Faye stiffened at Damien's upbraiding tone, but Sadie only grinned up at him, sliding her jewelry into place. And she thought Rune and Vashki were creative with her. Sorry, my leg's going numb. Hold on. Okay. Oh.
And she thought Rune...
Okay. And she thought Rune and Vashki were creative with her. Sparrow snorted. You don't have to lie. We all know Sadie will shove that somewhere you won't like. Faye flushed, but Damien only smirked. He gripped the front of Sadie's throat, and she tilted her head back, giving him more access. Damien crooned, swiping his thumb over her lips. Sadie bit the tip of his thumb, holding him with her teeth while she beamed up at him. Never pinned you as the submissive type, Sparrow laughed. Damien said with a wink as he dropped his hand. Can you teach me the quiet spell? Sparrow asked. Sadie nodded, raising her brow as Jahant addressed the crowd. Frey. Faye froze as her nerves returned all at once. She forced a controlled breath and stepped onto the raised platform. Her heels seemed to echo through the silence, and she stilled at the center of the eyes, standing tall. The High Queen refused to acknowledge her, and Faye raised her chin in defiance. Faye smiled at Jareth and Morbid, then addressed Jahant, repeating the words she rehearsed with Rune for the past week. I am the ruling court over every village in Anaria. I petition the High Council to recognize my rule and dominion of the realm. The High Queen laughed, and Faye's power flickered, radiating up her back. You are a mouthpiece for the Shadow Prince's rule. She waved her hand dismissively, turning her hazel gaze to Rune. If you wish to hunt in the peasant lands, you need only ask. Do as you please, Rune. It seems you acquired a taste for... She glanced back at Faye, her lashes lowered momentarily as her hazel gaze raked her head to toe. Inadequacy. Anger woven into rage coiled within her, spreading throughout her body. The flicker of sharp... Oops. The flicker of power sharpened, the sensation heating up beside her shoulder blades. Her wings begged for release. She stepped toward the High Queen and grated, I will protect my people from the Darkbloods who see Anaria as a hunting ground. The Vampire Queen squared her shoulders. You are nothing more than a peasant blood whore. A coy smile crossed her lips as she leaned back in her chair. Does the Shadow Prince drink from your neck or thigh? She lifted her hand, admiring her nails as she continued. I preferred the inner thigh. She arched an eyebrow this time. He has a talent with his mouth and hands. The High Queen raised her voice, speaking over Rune. You are a product of his vanity, since he could not be seen with such a debased creature beneath his title and breeding. Lissa was suddenly ripped from her chair, suspended a foot in the air by an invisible force. She sucked a breath, going rigid. Her eyes went wide before dark crimson flooded her gaze. Veined, misted shadows swayed over the tops of her cheekbones as the High Queen bared her fangs. I've grown tired of your tongue. Sadie spoke with sweet venom, peering at Rune as she twisted the High Queen's spine until she screamed. Apologize to the Shadow Prince. Faye turned toward the familiar. She floated in place. Her hair and clothing swayed around her as though she were submerged in deep water. Faye felt Sadie's power snake through the High Queen, choking her magic, holding it out of reach. Rune! Lissa cried. Okay, I have to pause for a second because we have a new character introduction.
Rune! Lissa cried.
And I don't want to fuck it up. So, if I'm not mistaken, so this is a character I haven't voiced. Now, what happens with this kind of thing is periodically I will get, so from certain authors, and in this case, Kalista has a very large realm, right? So lots of different characters, lots of different types. This character in particular has not yet been given a voice. So I want to go back and double check my notes and make sure that I give this particular character the right vibes. So I think this one is... Okay. Faye, Sparrow, Sadie, Prinya, Angelique. Avarice. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I think this is. Okay, I got it here. All right, 2 seconds because I'm double checking. I don't see Delilah, but I remember you putting Delilah somewhere. Because I remember that name, but in the update, Delilah's not in it. Hold on, let me. I know I saw Delilah's name because I remember reading it and being like, "Oh, she's a bitch." Um, let me go back to my thing. There we go. She's in a different email. We got that. There. Okay, yeah, she's in a. It's Sadira and Delilah. Yeah, they were missing, and then we have Bale, Bianca, and then Jamie Lynn. Yes. Okay. I don't think I know Ravenna from Snow White and the Huntsman. Hold on. I haven't seen that in a long time, so we're gonna have to spot check me. Yeah, I remember that. I remember it's Charlize Theron, but I cannot remember what the fuck she sounds like for this movie. Also, can I just say, seeing. Yes, we know. We love us a good final battle with bad bitches. Can we stop maybe potentially putting her in situations where this. Like, Kristen Stewart's great and all, but she should not fight. Okay, so we've got like a deeper voice, is what this is. So no accent, but she's got that. Okay, yeah, I can do this. This is good. So this voice will require, "Hi guys. Thank you. I'm in the middle of narrating, so I apologize." Um yeah, so she's like straight venomous bad bitch. So we will do that. And then the redhead who speaks. Well, let me start there. Let me start there and then we'll work our way up.
Rune, Lissa cried.
Rune, Lissa cried. Release the High Queen. Anaria belongs to me. A woman's voice Faye didn't recognize rang through the domed building as screams and panicked voices overlapped each other. It was followed by the sizzling crack of magic and will colliding. Balanced on the back of a chair, a dark-haired woman stepped above the others. Steel gray eyes trained on Faye, but the woman made no move for the dagger strapped to her thigh. The peasant lands belong to the court of lace and bone.
I love how these guys are so shitty that they literally just reference them as like the peasant court. Like, oh, okay, guys, get fucked. Okay, so we have another character dialogue chapter. So this is Rune's chapter, so we won't get context, but you will get character lines.
What happened to you? Why are you allowing this mockery? You were the best of us. The Narians have nothing to tax. The only thing they're good for is blood. He killed her. Faye choked on the thought. She's immortal, Faye told herself. She would rise again, but all Faye could see was Rune stomping down on her throat and the sickening crunch of bones. Her stomach knotted, and Faye scanned the crowd struggling to breathe. Sadie and Rune went against her wishes, making her court no better than the dark-blooded vultures she sought to protect her people from. "Stop!" Faye shouted at Sadie. The familiar tilted her head and smiled, as though she were listening to a beautiful melody. She lifted her hand and flicked her wrist, raising her index and middle finger. The wet sound of bones cracking filled the silence, and bile rose in Faye's throat as the High Queen screamed for Rune. "Stop!" Faye yelled. Sadie's midnight eyes gradually focused on Faye, and she lowered to the ground. Her long black hair and clothing settled around her. The crowd shifted, unsettled but able to move again. Her evil twin sneered at the High Queen. Rune spelled his voice to carry through the domed building.
So this is... Oh, thanks. So this is Delilah's daughter. That's okay, I'll make it work. Oh, it's Lissa's daughter. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, what did she sound like? Oh, I think I kept her really innocuous, actually. I mean, it should be fine.
Get away from my mother! I don't know who you think you are, but you're Good save, Rooney.
Yeah, okay. We got it. All right, so let me start over then.
Get away from my mother! A red-haired woman charged at Sadie, brandishing 2 blades the length of her forearm. A blast of dark power knocked her to the ground and sent her tumbling into the High Council's table. Sparrow stepped into the eyes, dusting off her hands. I don't know who you think you are, but you're The High Queen moved in a blur, but Rune was faster, catching her by the throat. Sparrow's eyes widened. She took a step back, examining the black-tipped claws aimed at her throat. Good save, Rooney. Faye's power crackled, burning through the space between her shoulder blades. Her wings shot free, weighing down her back. Magic flowed past her in an ominous aura, mirroring the darkness. An unquenchable dark rage colored Faye's mind. The High Queen would have killed her sister if Rune had not intervened. Faye took a step toward Lissa, fixating on the thought of twisting the Vampire Queen's head from her body. Faye exhaled a sharp breath, turning away. This wasn't her. Frustration welled in her. Her mind turned against her as her power breathed to life, soaking her in terrifyingly foreign urges and instincts. Her power felt like a living thing seeking an outlet, demanding she drew a sweet... Demanding she drew a sweet symphony of screams from the High Queen. Pleasure and violence blended in Faye until she couldn't differentiate one from the other. She made a fist, her claws cutting into her palm. The heady feeling of power pulsing through her veins overpowered the pain. Rune tossed Lissa with a flick of his hand. She landed easily, her violet...
She landed.
She landed easily, her violet corseted gown sweeping the floor. She straightened and hissed. You would abandon your court, your family. For what? A peasant blood whore? Faye clenched her teeth. She didn't trust herself when so much of her power brimmed at the surface. Couldn't let herself inadvertently hurt someone. Rune remained unmoved, addressing her with a calmness Faye didn't possess. The High Queen paled, taking a step back. Faye's hand brushed her gown, red marring the pale blue. This would not be how she began her reign. Violence and bloodshed would not be tools she used to vindicate her actions. She took a steadying breath and faced Jahan. The man squeezed into his chair and tucked his wings tightly to his back. His eyes widened. Oops. His widened eyes and slackened jaw stabbed at her heart. He was afraid of her. Faye raised her chin, pushing aside her feelings, and concentrated on her realm. Her people depended on her. She would not allow them to suffer under a dark blood's boot any longer. I am the queen of chaos and darkness. I am the ruling court over every village and town in Inaria. I request the High Council recognize my rule and dominion of this realm. She spoke the words, beginning her rule. The Artithian king's attention snapped from the High Queen to Rune. The notch in his throat bobbed. He inclined his head, holding Faye's determined stare.
Okay. And she gets her court. All right, so we're good here. We're going to save that. The next one is another chapter as told by Rune, so we will get character dialogue.
Act 2, Middle Game. Inaria is mine. Each of my subjects are members of my court. If my people are mistreated, I will bring retribution to your doorstep. Rise. Where are we going?
Don't take forever. We have sparring.
Offended me. You went against everything we talked about. Settled it? Sadie turned everyone into puppets. All of you. Even my sister. You all went against what I asked. You all went against what I asked. Fucking hell. I don't want to be like them. I don't want us to be like them. I'm not going to act like a dark blood. We can do this without bloodshed. Violence isn't the answer. No. They're children throwing a tantrum because they lost a realm where their actions had no consequences. This isn't a mistake. We can do this the correct way. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get blood on you.
Really?
I don't smell anything. I think you're looking for an excuse to see me naked.
Ugh, this man. Did they smell that bad?
She can wait. You could be quick.
Okay, that's that chapter. And 18 is also split perspective, so we will go back to character dialogue. Since Faye is the queen of Anaria, are you the king, Rooney? You are, right, since you're dark blood married and all. Darkness. You're the queen of hell, bitch!
That's usually how kingliness is passed down. Thank you.
Let me make sure that the cat screaming did not...
That's usually how kingliness is passed down.
Why are we screaming? No, it's okay. I just like... It was fine, and then suddenly there's like 3 subsequent in the back. But that's the thing, is if it were Meatball, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense, it's Meatball. But she's screaming. Diva, why? That's why we can't have nice things.
That's usually...
Okay, let me just redo that line. No, it's okay.
That's usually how kingliness is passed down. Thank you.
So, hell is eating you? What happens if you stop? So, back to the wedding.
Anaria is our primary concern.
Was that the red hair bitch or the black hair bitch? Was that the red hair bitch or the black haired bitch?
In mangled pieces.
That wasn't sweet. Let's do that different.
In mangled pieces. No, we are not killing. We're setting an example.
Ugh, stop being so nice. They swung first. You're allowed to stomp on their necks now. I love that all Faye wants is everybody to just pull their head out of their ass for 2 seconds, take a breath, calm down, chill, relax, have a drink. And everybody else is like, no, but they punched us first. So we should punch them back. And that's totally valid. That's totally valid for us to do. No, stop punching. No, we punch.
Chapter 19. Sparrow remained diligent during the past week, meeting Damien to train each morning. Her sister insisted she join the fun, but Faye chose to focus on her magic. Sadie and Rune both assured her that learning to control her power would be taxing, but she felt inadequate. She could do so little, and the effects lingered, leaving her exhausted for days. Each day she woke in the early afternoon and found Rune reviewing documents on the small desk in their room. The bitter animosity between Alistair and Rune no longer tainted the happiness she found with her vampire. The slate had been wiped clean, and she felt lighter after Prinya's rescue. Even the night terrors plaguing her dreams faded slowly. She suspected her apprehension to the cold would never truly go away, but she slept through the night for the first time in ages, waking up between Rune and Vashki, warm and at peace. Faye strolled is what Faye was doing.
Faye
Faye strolled into Rune's study. His ornate glass backdrop filtered the soft light of Hell's ever-twilight sky, basking the edge of her vampire's hair in a gentle glow. Today was her first official day of being queen. Rune smiled as she reached his desk and slid a stack of letters toward her. "What are these?" Faye picked up the first envelope. The elegant script read, "To the Queen of Chaos and Darkness." Rune didn't answer, only watched her expectantly. Faye broke the burgundy wax. Her heart pounded faster as she read the words over and over again. "This is a Dayblood, and they requested admittance to her court." Hers. She'd known Anarians would come, desperate for any protection from the Darkbloods who preyed on them. A year ago she would have petitioned for her place within the safety of a benevolent court, then begged for her village's entry. Those with magic could never understand the fear she buried every time Sparrow dragged her to Necromia. Stop it. See?
every time
Let me start over. Every time Sparrow dragged her to Necromia. Every time Sparrow dragged her to Necromia. A moment was all it took for a Darkblood to kidnap her, trap her in their dark court, and force her to become their pet. And in some ways, she did get kidnapped and trapped. While she didn't become Rune's pet, the danger was all the same. But Rune was different, and yet, in many ways, all the same. Daybloods couldn't comprehend the suffocating feeling of being weak, of never truly having control. Faye swallowed her bitterness. Why would one of them want to associate with the lowly Anarians they considered animals? Faye set the letter down, opening the next. She looked to Rune. "Are they all requests?" Rune teased. Faye bit the inside of her lip, studying the letters. There has to be a misunderstanding. She placed it back down, eyeing the... I'm fucking up a lot today.
She placed it back down.
She placed it back down, eyeing the shimmery texture of the seals. Do they think I'm going to hand over my villages and let them rule? Why else would a Dayblood ask to migrate to her realm? Rune's playful expression fell as he thinned his lips. Her vampire shifted his chair back and held his hand out to her. Faye let the letters fall on his desk. This wasn't what she wanted. Anaria was hers, and she would protect them all. His deep, accented voice caressed her. The warmth of his hand surrounded hers, and Rune drew her onto his lap. Rune said, holding her loosely. Daybloods have no interest in Anaria. My realm only looks attractive because they can't get a foothold in Necromia. Necromia, god damn it. Wait. I lost my... Where did you go? There we go. Okay. Got it. Hey, happy birthday. Rune said, holding her loosely. Daybloods have no interest in Anaria. My realm only looks attractive because they can't get a foothold in Necromia, a place where the Darkbloods ruled, and the strong reaped no consequences for their actions. Faye swallowed her... Faye swallowed her hateful thoughts. Daybloods wanted nothing to do with her realm before Faye blanketed Anaria under her protection, an invitation she extended to her people, not them. Rune held her against him as he reached forward to retrieve the letters she had abandoned. He held the request in front of her and explained, "You don't think they want to come here to be Anaria's Darkbloods?" Faye eyed the stack of letters he left in easy reach and spared him her skepticism. Rune chuckled, and Faye thumped his chest. "It's not funny. I'm being serious." He brought her hand to his mouth and kissed the back of her fingers. A gentle purr rumbled quietly from his lips. She wore a darker shard than him, but she was no fool. Having the Shadow Prince as her consort afforded her court the merciless reputation he spent lifetimes cultivating. His words played in her mind, his promise when she woke with her shards. She longed for equality between the Anarians, Daybloods, and Darkbloods, which meant she needed to stop looking at the Daybloods and Darkbloods as enemies. She couldn't afford to let her bitterness color the realm she wanted for her children. Faye studied her nail beds and asked, "What do I do if they ask for villages?" Courts ruled over the cities and towns in Necromia. Would they expect the same thing to happen here? The corner of Rune's mouth lifted into a smirk, and his eyes lit with humor. She gathered the stack of letters and hesitantly took the Dayblood request Rune held. "Do you think he'll see the Anarians? Treat them as equals?" A mental tether scratched the edge of Faye's mind, and her brow pinched. She welcomed Rune into her mind, unsure why he wanted a communication tether when he could speak to her. Their voices were identical, but Faye recognized Vashki. She leaned closer to Rune and whispered, "Behave." Her vampire glanced upward and exhaled. Vashki grated. Oh, it's a double line, that's why. Okay. Vashki grated. A growl rumbled through Faye's mind, and she giggled. "I think he has the communication tether set up so I can hear both of you," Rune said, drumming his fingers over her thigh. Vashki purred. Vashki's veined, misted shadows stretched beneath Rune's pale blue eyes. She ran the pad of her thumb through them. The shadows swirled in different directions, disturbed by her touch. She pressed a kiss to the corner of his mouth and whispered, "I'll sit with you tonight. Rune is showing me court things." Vashki grumbled. The communication link snapped a moment later, and Rune shook his head. He sighed. "Vashki isn't a creature," she said. Rune closed his eyes and tilted his head to run an index over the center of his forehead. He gazed down at her with the same look of annoyance she wore when Sparrow rattled on about something she shouldn't have done but was unreasonably proud of. For as old as they were, the two of them squabbled like teenage boys. Vashki was more to blame than Rune, but she trusted him implicitly. Her beautiful hunter wouldn't act without her direct approval, even if he reminded her of a cat, bringing her the mice and birds he caught to show his affection. Sparrow joked Vashki showed his love with violence, and Faye reluctantly agreed. The man wanted to solve even the simplest problems with abject murder. Be nice to each other. Faye hadn't meant for it to come out as a question. Her plea was met with silence. "Please," she added. The two of them shared a body. They couldn't escape each other. Getting along should have been a priority thousands of years ago. Rune remained silent, and Faye resigned herself to his answer. "He's really old. Baby steps," Faye reminded herself as she stood, taking her letters to sit across his desk. She broke the dark green wax seal of the next envelope and began to read. Rune said. Faye blinked up at him. "I have more?" Rune waved his hand, and a large wired basket filled with letters appeared on the end of his desk. As Rune spoke, more letters appeared above the basket, falling into it. I'll get Sparrow to help me sort these, Faye said as another group of letters appeared and fell. Faye met Rune's gaze and added, maybe Vash, too.
No, bitch. You took the job. You wanted the job. You wanted the job. You got to take responsibility. I didn't know it would be so social. Fuck, man, I could never. I would be the worst. No, I could never be this fucking social. Please.
Chapter 20. Faye took the wire basket and hurried to Sparrow's wing. More requests appeared and tumbled out of the basket, scattering across the stone floor. She couldn't help but laugh as she retrieved them. Rune said, promptly vanishing the basket and letters. Thank you, she said, getting to her feet. They turned the corner and Faye yelled, Hooker! Bitch, Sparrow answered. Faye found her in the den, seated at the dining table. She held a cold compress to her shoulder and poured a shot of vodka. Faye wrinkled her nose as Sparrow threw back her shot and filled a second. What happened to you? Faye asked. Vasheen answered from behind them. He walked to Sparrow with a jar of white salve. That fucker threw me, Sparrow interjected. Rune asked. Sparrow rolled her shoulder as Vash massaged.
Sparrow rolled.
Rune asked. Sparrow rolled her shoulder as Vash
I am obsessed with saying the word managed. Don't know why.
Rune asked. Sparrow rolled her shoulder as Vash massaged in the ointment.
No, I already healed it. It's just stiff.
I have something that will make you feel better, Faye said as she sat down. She drummed her hands on the table and glanced up at Rune. Her vampire called the basket, and Faye shook the requests. Sparrow lifted her chin to peer at its contents.
What's this shit?
We have requests to join our court, Faye said, unable to keep the excitement from her voice.
Didn't sound excited. Let's do that again.
Faye said, unable to keep the...
We have requests to join our court, Faye said, unable to keep the excitement from her voice. The petite blonde promptly picked up a letter, cracking its wax seal. Rune chuckled as Sparrow lifted her gaze to him momentarily. She set the letter aside and opened the next. You are one popular bitch. She rapidly opened the letters, each detailing the same thing, a request to join her court. Open these, Sparrow said as she placed a messy pile of letters in front of Vasheen. He caught Faye's gaze and held up the envelope addressed to her with a frown. Faye laughed softly, reaching for her own pile as more folded parchments appeared and fell on her hand. There are too many for me to read through alone, Faye explained. When are you getting your castle in Anaria? Sparrow asked. Faye glanced up from her letter to stare at her sister. I'm not getting a castle. His shadowy highness isn't buying you a castle. Sparrow cut a glance to her vampire and snorted. Rooney, how could you? Rune exhaled deeply and took his own pile of requests. Faye slouched, tucking her feet under her chair. He couldn't be serious. I don't want a castle, she grumbled, glaring at her sister. Next, she would want her to string diamonds through her hair like the High Queen. And no, I don't want a crown, Faye said before Sparrow could rattle off her list of demands. Her sister wilted with a huff. You're a queen. Don't be boring. Rune.
I'm just going to read you that whole list of lines. Hold on.
Don't be boring. You're...
You're a queen. Don't be boring. Rune reassured her. The fuck we're not. You're a queen now, bitch. Not just his queen. A queen, she said, pointing at Rune before splaying her fingers to make small circles at Faye. You need a castle, preferably bigger than the high bitches, and multiple crowns. And wing jewelry? Did you know our Tithians have wing jewelry? Rune chided. Sparrow opened her mouth wide and hissed at him. Veshine's membranous wing curved around her sister's seat and yanked her closer. The chair dragged loudly against the stones, and she wrinkled her nose, staring at him. A smaller hiss escaped her lips. Veshine said, pulling her sister's blonde curls into her face before mussing it further. Rune added. Faye bit the inside of her lip. He was so cautious, approaching everything like they were preparing for an inescapable battle. She didn't need a stronghold. Build your shit in an aria, Sparrow grumbled. Her sister leaned forward, and her blonde curls fell over her shoulder as she rubbed her bottom. I think I still have a crystal in my ass from where Damien threw me. Veshine cracked the wax seal on the next letter with a sharp twist of his wrist and paused, thumping Sparrow with his wingtip. She threw an elbow at the much larger male, and he only stared down at her. Keep siding with Catboy, and I'll bite your dick next time you want me to play nice. Faye didn't mind knowing all her sister's euphemisms, but it had been easier when Sparrow kept a man for a few weeks at the most. Faye studied the request in her hands, convincing herself she didn't know play nice meant Sparrow let Vashine tie her hands behind her back and fuck her mouth. And she definitely didn't see Vash's cheeks flushing burgundy. Rune offered. You want to be close to Auntie Clara? Don't lie. Sparrow's bright green eyes lit with excitement. And we could train at Auntie Clara's house. You get to visit the little beasties, and I get soft grass for my tail. It's perfect. Faye glanced at Rune, and he nodded, saying, Do not, Faye warned, pointing at her sister. Show up at Auntie Clara's house with swords and shit. I need to ask first. Sparrow made a rude noise and fluttered her hand in her direction. Bitch, she lets you do anything. She tilted her head back and forth, whining. You're her favorite. Faye rolled her eyes, and the four of them opened letter after letter. The sound of rustling paper filled the space between them. Faye motioned to the requests Sparrow stacked in two piles. Why are you separating them? Sparrow tapped the smaller pile. Daybloods, then the larger one. Anarians. That's a good idea. Faye sifted through her open letters, pulling out the Daybloods she had. Rune held down a letter to Faye, and Sparrow snatched it. Give it back, hooker, Faye hissed, kicking at her sister under the table, but missing entirely. Sparrow met her gaze, and her eyes gleamed as she shook the page. Ooh, you just bagged your first dark blood, bitch. Faye snatched the letter back, her lips parted. A dark blood shared her vision? Sparrow gave her a toothy grin. Maybe Silver Leaves will want to join you too. Rune arched a brow and glanced at Faye. I was trying to set her up before you came along and that's because of course it's Sparrow. I was trying to set her up before you came along and kidnapped her. Faye kicked again, this time connecting with Sparrow's shin. Ow, bitch! His shadowiness did kidnap you. Tell me I'm lying. Her sister leaned forward to rub her shin, and Faye went back to reading without answering. Don't be so boring. It'll be a hell of a story to tell your kids. Sparrow tapped a sealed letter at Rune. Have you stopped drinking your contraceptive tea yet? I'm about to take the letters away from you, Faye said. No! I want to know who's joining our court. Sparrow moved her pile of letters out of Faye's reach and glared at Rune. She never kept secrets from me until you showed up. It's private, Faye said curtly. Sparrow huffed, blowing a curl out of her face. You're going to make me an aunt. I should get to know. Faye glanced at her sister. Her expectant expression left her speechless. I don't know what's going on in that kitty cat brain of yours, but this is private. Sparrow gave Rune a pleading glance, and he chuckled. Her shoulders slumped as she went back to her letters. You better tell me after you tell him. You'll be the first we tell, Faye promised. Her sister only snorted at her. She narrowed her eyes and glanced at Rune. Do you think Sadie will be okay to continue our lessons at Auntie Clara's house? Rune replied. Oh, wait. Faye speaking. Whoops.
She narrowed her eyes and glanced at Rune. Do you think...
She narrowed her eyes and glanced at Rune.
Yeah, okay.
She narrowed her eyes and glanced at Rune. Do you think Sadie will be okay to continue our lessons at Auntie Clara's house? Rune replied. Sparrow took another pile of documents.
What's she teaching you?
Sadie wasn't really teaching her anything because Faye struggled to do the basics. She thought her power would obey her. Sparrow had such an easy time of it after she invoked her blood. I'm practicing drawing my power toward me. And failing. She couldn't take a small piece of paper.
Oh, where did I get the word paper?
And failing.
And failing. She couldn't take a small piece of her power and lift it. Her magic was a great, lazy beast who refused to listen to her. She'd struggled to drag its dead weight to her body after she woke this morning, and the ordeal left her exhausted. Rune added his letters into Faye's sorted piles. Sparrow snickered. I bet he said that in bed too, huh? Her sister frowned when she didn't reply. Know what comes after your orgy moon? Sparrow asked, opening another letter. Faye glared at her sister. When she learned how to manipulate her powers, the first thing she was going to have Rune teach her was a silencing spell. Her vampire leaned back in his chair and gazed lovingly at Faye. Sparrow eyed him suspiciously. How old will she be, your fanginess? Stop, Faye hissed. I'm testing his devotion, Sparrow said. A warm smile spread over his lips. Sparrow quirked her lip. Say 26 like a normal person. Faye laughed, placing another letter in the Anarian pile. Sparrow clapped and pressed her hands together. You know what we should do? Go back to the Hunter Moon Ball and reenact how you met. Vasheen said dryly. Faye straightened her documents as Rune said. Sparrow threw her hands in the air and Faye groaned, closing her eyes. Even more reason to crash her party, her sister insisted. I'll sight shield her again. You both meet by the food station. Then I'll trip her into you, or... Rune said simply. Sparrow's lips... Oh, okay. I think that's an edit error, but that's okay. We got it.
Sparrow.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Got it.
Sparrow's lips spread into a toothy smile. You'll just be trespassing on Faye in your bed? Vasheen coughed and Faye cracked her lids. Her sister propped her head up with her hand and pouted. Something must happen. The vampire brothels charged triple that night. Faye's face heated, and she stood, announcing, I'm going to take a nap. We're not having this discussion. The hunter's moon would rise next month, and she needed to talk to Rune and Vashki about it. The thought of them lusting for her beneath the red moon intrigued her. She might have to ask Vashki what Rune liked, since he was always too concerned with her pleasure. The few times she'd seen her stoic vampire undone ignited her blood. She craved seeing him past his reason. Give me something, Sparrow whined. Does the red moon let you keep it up all night? The corner of Rune's mouth lifted. Vasheen immediately shook his head. Sparrow squinted at each of them. I hate all of you. Poor Sparrow. just trying to get, you know.
All right, so chapter 21 is my co-narrator, so we will be doing a dialogue chapter, so please hold. Which is good, because I'm going to take a quick break for a second after this. Yeah, she just really wants to know. It is, to be fair, it is a lot of fun. Again, so Kalista just verified. Kalista Neith is the author. Verified that it will be a December release, and the whole collection is being released, basically. So all the books. So you will have the opportunity. All right, let's see. Come on in, you shadowy cock blocker. What are you doing?
I have a bikini on.
He's 1,000,000 years old. He's seen ass before.
Best 5 years of his life.
We're past 4. How many familiar have you been with?
Your mom, huh? Nothing to do with Sadie?
They're fine.
Hear that, Wing Daddy? You have a chance.
You came to ask me what to get Faye for her birthday, huh?
I have a personal shopper's fee, just so you know.
I need to plan a bridal shower. I was already planning a baby shower.
Darkness, is Faye pregnant? You knocked her up, didn't you? That's why you need to get married suddenly.
No, baby first.
Vash isn't going to save you from me, Fangs. You tell me if my sister is pregnant, and I tell you the rock she likes. She likes a very specific gem. And I'll give you a hint. It's not diamond. You better shut all the way up.
You promise?
Okay. I'm trusting you. She likes Alexandrite. Not because we grew up in Alexander. She likes it because it reminds her of her favorite leafy baby.
See that jeweled thorn? Big leafy fucker in the middle?
She saved for 3 months to buy it.
Had it since she was 18.
You better thank the darkness it didn't die when she broke up with you.
You should take me with you.
I'll help you pick out a ring for her, your shadowy highness.
That ring she's wearing now, the only ring she wears, I picked that shit out. Just saying. What? No. You can go drinking after we're done.
My shopping fee just went up exponentially.
I love Sparrow so much. Like, I'm completely biased, but I love Sparrow. All right. And chapter 22 is also perspective, so it will be another dialogue chapter.
I'm getting up. Why am I so tired? High Council homework? It's okay. He just catches me off guard sometimes. I want to know how Prenya's doing. I want to see Prenya. What was the other letter? Was anyone hurt?
Oh, it is her speaking. Okay. Sorry, I was reading ahead, making sure I understood who was speaking. So, 2 seconds.
No one was hurt. Just ignore her. Delilah is a child throwing a tantrum for losing a realm that was never hers. She's everything I despise about the social hierarchy strangling my people. If I destroy anyone who thinks differently than I do, anyone who opposes me, I'm only proving her and every dark blood like her right. They believe the only way to rule is through violence and fear. We can show them a better way to rule, together.
Okay. And chapter 23, same thing. Dialogue chapter. She was just here. You act like she's not here every other week bringing you snacks.
You're just mad she loves us more than you. Don't teach them that.
I didn't. Oh. I didn't swear.
Because Auntie Clara would beat your ass.
You're trying to bring your evil twin here. I'm not the influence you should be worried about.
Hi. For the little ones, yes. Don't say anything. I still have to ask Auntie Clara.
Like she's going to tell you no. You're the favorite. I don't know why I clicked for that when I know damn good and well that that's somebody else's filling, so I'm going to just leave that. This fucking traitor? Don't teach the kids to talk like that. Are you going to eat all your lunch? He's the worst one.
I am. It's not for me. My second in command isn't feeling well. She's sleeping, so I'm making sure she gets one. You're just mad no one loves you or your horse booty. That's not my name!
I'm getting an estate built soon. We chose some land past my old cottage. Well, sure. You're a queen now. Can I use the far end of the yard until everything is built? Just make sure the kids don't get hurt. Rooney is going to teach her how to phase. You need to learn too. So lazy, that one. Good luck teaching her. Hey! If you weren't so lazy, you could phase them back. I have sparring lessons. I'll meet you there.
What are you afraid of people hearing?
Oh, Clara's... Okay, that was my bad. Clara was talking to him.
What are you
afraid of people hearing? You're already queen, and yes, you have all the blessings you need. We stand Auntie Clara in this house. All right. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, yes. Correct. Okay. I was making sure I didn't missave and miscount the number on that chapter, but we're good. We're good. We're aces. Yeah, it's when you first started, was it weird to talk to yourself, so to speak? So I grew up really liking to read to people. Like it sounds weird, but I liked reading to the class. Like it was just something I enjoyed doing. So it was not difficult for that at all. Doing like let's plays and stuff though, and speaking out loud internalized thoughts while you're gaming, it was a little strange to start, but narrating was pretty natural for the most part. That wasn't strange. I will be right back though. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, so hang tight. Give me 2 seconds. I also have to get more water, but I don't have a be right back screen on this, so just hang out. You'll be fine. Just don't worry about it. I think I can pause you guys though somewhere. I think maybe. Yeah, I can. Okay, 2 seconds. You guys be good. Stay. So I think what I'm going to do is try to, let me see what I've got right here. So 24, 25. Okay. So I think I'm going to do chapter 24 and 25 and then take a lunch break. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what we're doing. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds positive. Mostly because if I don't, I'm not going to stop and I will forget to eat. And I know myself better than that, so we're not doing that. Not this time. Not today, Satan. All right. Chapter 24. Faye shielded her eyes from the sun and watched Auntie Clara's door, waiting for Rune to emerge. She wondered if Rune was trapped in a room with Auntie Clara after touching one of her pots. She dropped her hands and turned toward her sister. They settled on the stretch of grass opposite the stables against the fence in the front yard. The overlapping chatter of children playing and the warmth of the sun soothed her. The haunting memories plaguing her these past months seemed smaller. Her night terrors, a shadow shrinking from the light surrounding her. Kember asked, swatting Sparrow's wrist and holding her hands up in played combat. Sparrow snorted. I don't think Rooney knows how to hold a sword. We have other friends teaching us. Oh, still her speaking. Yeah, no, okay, so it looks like it was Faye who was supposed to speak and then it fell. So let me start back at Kimber.
I don't think Rooney knows how.
I don't think Rooney knows how to hold a sword. We have other friends teaching us, Damien and Sid. You don't have to be nice to her evil twin, her sister interrupted. Kember slipped her hands into her back pockets and glanced between them. Sparrow sighed dramatically, rolling her neck on her shoulders. Oh, you'll see when the bitch gets here. Rune materialized beside Faye, and Kember jerked, taking a step back. Sorry, Faye said, holding her hand out. She leaned into her mate, running her hand under his jacket and over his side. Can you please walk until everyone gets used to you? Faye asked, smiling at her pale-eyed vampire. He tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. But you won't be poofing on people and scaring them, Dick, Sparrow hissed beside Kember. Rune inclined his head and said, oh, it's pink, but it's Kember speaking, so I will double-click that then. Kember linked arms with Sparrow and met Faye's gaze. Her lavender-gray eyes gleamed as she said, Bitch bagged a couple of dark bloods, too, Sparrow said, giving Rune a toothy smile. Tall, pale, and scary has some competition. Faye smiled, intertwining her fingers with Rune's as her heart swelled. The realm she envisioned bloomed around her, beginning with her home. Rune and Voshki offered her everything she could possibly desire, respected her, and listened, even when they disagreed with her methods. They would usher in a new type of court, a new way to rule, and they would do it together, as equals. Sparrow tugged on Kimber's arm. Let's go. You don't want to watch the love blur.
Phasing.
Sparrow snorted, interrupting Rune, and he cut her a glance. Her sister huffed, crossing her arms. Fine. Get on with it, your shadowy highness, Kimber said with a wave. Rune stepped away from Faye to stand between herself and Sparrow. Faye stifled a giggle as Sparrow closed her eyes and touched her temples. I'm thinking of Vasheen in the shower. Rune exhaled, meeting Faye's gaze. Faye bit the inside of her lip, hoping he was right. The shards she carried mirrored the darkness itself, but all her strength was useless, like having a sword that far outweighed her. It didn't matter how sharp the blade was or how finely it was crafted. It meant nothing if she couldn't lift it. Faye closed her eyes, searching her mind for a familiar location. She took a deep breath and thought of her room in the cottage outside Alexander. She could see her dresser and the sunlight streaming in through the window over her bed. The small rug concealed the floorboard she pried loose to hold
The small
The small rug concealed the floorboard she pried loose to hide her gold marks. I see it. What do I do now? Faye asked. He said. Faye glanced over her room. She went to her dresser, trying to recall what would be on it. A thick layer of dust covered it. Maybe if she opened the drawers. She grasped the drawer handle and froze. It felt so real. Rune's deep, accented voice swept through her mind. Faye stared at herself in her mirror and broke into a wide smile. I phased! Concern trickled through their mental tether. She ran her finger through the dust blanketing her dresser and glanced back at her bare bed. I'm in my old room, she replied. His chuckle rolled through her mind. Faye closed her eyes, picturing Rune and Sparrow standing in a sunny stretch of grass. She saw the newly painted fence, felt the sun pouring warmth over her shoulders. The sound of children laughing carried toward her. Images of Rune and Sparrow flickered, then solidified as the large front yard came into sharp focus. Pride filled Faye, and she pressed her hands together, bringing them to her lips. Relief nearly brought tears to her eyes. Her magic finally obeyed her. Even if only in this small way, it validated her. That was easier than I thought it would be, Faye said, phasing to stand beside Sparrow. She grasped her sister's hand and squealed, Darkness! I can do it! Rune looked impressed. Sparrow snorted and closed her eyes. I hate you. I have been taking lessons, bitch, she whined. It never works. Rune strolled to the fence post and called the small plate Auntie Clara took from Sparrow. He frowned at the empty plate and set it on the post. He called the pink box next and placed a pastel, blue, and green cookie on the dish before vanishing the box again. He took a few steps from the treats and motioned for Sparrow to join him. Sparrow stared and reached her hand out multiple times, pinching at the air. Sparrow's shoulders slumped after her 6th try. How long do I do this? Rune chuckled. Sparrow turned to glare at him. I hate your ass. She returned her attention to the plate and pinched the air with more force. Faye stood on her toes and tipped her chin on Rune's shoulder. She ran her nails over his ass and asked, When can you teach me to phase your clothes off? Sparrow's image flickered as she turned to them. You can phase her clothes off? Rune thinned his lips. Rune crossed his arms, leaning back as he examined her. Sparrow turned to Faye. Go back to the kinky shit. He phases your clothes off? Faye giggled in answer, ducking behind her mate, and Sparrow glared up at Rune. Teach Vash your tricks. Sparrow, please. Sparrow, no. She's right, though. I mean, that would make things a lot easier. Just phase that shit out. Done. Diddly done. No problem. Chapter 25. 2 seconds, guys. I think the mail is coming.
Bork. Okay. I have to pause for a second while borking ceases. The clicker is for male dialogue. So anytime I have a co-narrator, it's a duet. So anytime that you hear the clicker go off, that is usually signifying another person's line. So it's just to be able to just go straight to that clicker sound and then insert the other person's dialogue. So it's really good for organization for the sound engineer or for production. So I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. It just makes it much simpler. I'm going to grab some water, though, while they're borking, because I'm assuming somebody's doing something. So hang out, be good. Oh, is it the trash? Okay, that's fine. There'll be a minute then. I just need to grab some water. I'm going to let them hang out. All right. Yeah, so the garbage is here is what it is. So it'll be just a second. We haven't gotten a spicy moment. Yeah. You've had spicy, like, sections where things have been interrupted. Yeah, like a mark on the waveform. Exactly. That's actually exactly how it's best described. Gone to the woods. That's a good way to put it. I didn't pull the garbage cans out. I'm sure he's bitchy about it. He's also taking forever. Is that the trash guy we like, or is that the asshole trash guy? I don't know. There'll be a minute. But yeah, so that's what the clicker's for. Just helps with that. So, chapter 25 is not too long. It looks like the second half of chapter 25 is actually from Runer Voshki's perspective, so that should keep things pretty quick. Okay, and they're gone, so we're good.
Sparrow's lesson had been unsuccessful, but her
Sparrow's lesson had been unsuccessful, but her sister seemed more determined to learn since Faye could now phase. Rune brought her into his mind when they turned in for the night. She fell asleep between him and Voshki, but woke restless. It wasn't the night terrors impeding her sleep. The hunter's moon would rise in a few weeks, and her anticipation kept her awake. She'd moved while she slept. She was still curled on her side, but her head was on her pillow instead of Rune's chest. Her vampire slept peacefully, with his hand nestled on her inner thigh. Voshki slept behind her, holding her against him, her waist flushed with his chest. The open back of her nightgown allowed his lulling breaths to caress her in an easy rhythm. Faye glanced up at Rune and smiled. He was stunning in Hell's gentle half-light, his features relaxed. Faye untangled her arm from his, searching his face. Satisfied she hadn't disturbed him, she lightly ran a nail over the back of Voshki's hand. He inhaled lazily, tightening his hold as he rubbed the side of his face between her shoulder blades. Her eyes rolled over Rune. She was nervous. Voshki woke him, but when she realized he was sound asleep, she dragged her nails across Voshki's forearm, harder. Voshki adjusted his hold, his black-tipped claws grazing between her breasts. He pushed off the bed and rested his chin on her side, arching a brow. She suppressed the giggle bubbling in her throat. She'd never seen Voshki like this. His holy black eyes were heavy-lidded. Even the veined, misted shadows stretching beneath it seemed to move slower. Faye widened her eyes, and he rolled his head to one side as his brows pinched. Fates, she grumbled to herself. His mind brushed the edge of her awareness, and Faye thanked the darkness. Voshki's predatory senses fell over her, systematically prowling her mind, hunting her. He pounced, enveloping her conscious. He pounced, enveloping her consciousness with his, offering everything he was, his vicious protectiveness, his submission to her will, the desolate loneliness her presence abated. She smiled at her beautiful hunter, the man who loved and accepted her before she'd ever met him. Vashki purred through her mind. "Can Rune hear us?" she asked in return. He smirked and nipped her side. "Can he hear us or not?" Vashki chuckled. Faye jabbed her nail into the space between his thumb and index. Vashki's dark laugh floated through her mind. "I love you the same," she insisted. "I sleep on my left," Faye scolded. A beat of silence passed, and Vashki glanced up in contemplation. He pressed his lips to her gown and said. Rune's silk sheets rustled as Vashki lowered himself behind her. Faye bit the inside of her lip, gathering her nerve. She rushed the words before she could change her mind. "Tell me what he likes." Vashki traced the curve of her breast. Heat carried over Faye's cheeks. "He does not?"
Wait. 2 seconds. Hold on, because I gotta make sure. Hold on. Okay, I have to mute. I'm sorry. I have to mute. I know. It's so sad. Just hold on. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm safe now. I think. We'll find out. I don't know. Maybe not. I wasn't going to risk that one because it was. I was thinking about the Hunter's Moon. I don't want you to kill yourself. The Hunter's Moon is sacred to vampires. I want you to have your night. You've been everything I needed. Let me know who asked. Do you want me? I don't want you content. I want you satisfied. Oh my. Okay. The second part of that was told from his perspective, so that's why it was like that. How long is 26? Let's see. I don't think I can. Hold on. So, me going and getting lunch and then coming back and doing this before I start streaming again is probably. Yeah, I literally just looked and I was like, smells like a band chapter. Smells like a TOS problem. So this is actually a good place for me to go get lunch and break, which I'm fine with. So, bet. Yes, it is considered a just wait and listen to the audiobook. Again, we are doing A Trial of Lace and Bone by Kalista and Neith. It is book 2, but all of the books and the books are all out. Amazing like art and other stuff involved in a lot of the physical books. The audiobooks are being targeted to be completed and shipped out and available to you guys by December of this year. So I will be back, but you guys are amazing. Please take care of yourselves. All of the current stuff that I do have done is at autumnivyofficial.com. And we should be good. Do you still record for Quinn? No, not actively. I have asked them what the fuck, and they have provided me no information other than we'll let you know if we need you. So yeah, don't know. Couldn't tell you. And the last thing that I dropped was a handful of mixed audios for FXTM. So I had some non-binary and some trans audios that were supposed to release, and they just didn't bother releasing them. And then they pulled the contract and were like, yeah, we're good. We'll let you know if we need anything. And then I just haven't fucked with them since. And that was like a year and a half ago or something. So I have no idea. But no, I'm not actively recording for Quinn at the moment, which is unfortunate. But, you know, I apologize because there were people who were expecting things to be released that couldn't be released. And at this point, I'm still doing audios. I am still doing roleplay audios and ASMR style audios. They're just being released on other sites and other locations and other subscriptions. So that's why I mentioned that. But merch is at autumnivy.com, and then other stuff is at autumnivyofficial.com. But you guys are great. I will be back later. Okay.